Hey, good morning, friends. It's Joe. Welcome to my scripture reflection for Friday, July the 25th. Hope you're doing well on this Friday morning. It's going to be a warm day here in the Northeast, very warm, actually. I always say look out for those in need, whether it's a bottle of water for a person or an animal on the street or whatever the case may be, any gesture towards those who are not doing well in weather like this. Just a quick note as I'm continuing to formulate my plans for videos starting probably September 1st, retooling them, so to speak. I'm looking at changing the time to 8:30 instead of 7:30. I'd really love to have more people join me live and maybe we can interact in the comments. So I'm asking if you have any opinion on that. I'd appreciate it, but I am looking to start them at 8:30 instead of 7:30 Eastern Time. With that, I will ask you to quiet your minds and hearts as we prepare to hear today's gospel, which is from St. Matthew, chapter 20, verses 20 to 28. The mother of the sons of Zebedee approached Jesus with her sons and did him homage, wishing to ask him for something. He said to her, "What do you wish?" She answered him, "Command that these two sons of mine sit, one at your right and the other at your left, in your kingdom." Jesus said in reply, "You do not know what you are asking. Can you drink the chalice that I am going to drink?" They said to him, "We can." He replied, "My chalice you will indeed drink, but to sit at my right and my left is not mine to give, but is for those whom it has been prepared by my Father." When the 10 heard this, they became indignant at the two brothers. But Jesus summoned them and said, "You know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and the great ones make their authority over them felt. But it shall not be so among you. Rather, whoever wishes to be great among you shall be your servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you shall be your slave. Just so the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." When I prayed over this gospel, I immediately came to some visions of holiness after hearing Jesus' words. What does holiness look like? Think about it. Is holiness a beautiful portrait of a first communicant or a young person with a prayer book open in front of them and their hands folded? Is holiness a picture of a man, a wife, and their 2.5 children dressed beautifully sitting in church? Is holiness a picture of Jesus laughing, holding his hands up, and addressing his loved ones? I say none of those are really holiness. Holiness is instead a family struggling, sitting at a bedside of a loved one who is very sick. Holiness is someone who is struggling in life and moving forward one step at a time as best as they possibly can to support themselves and their family. And holiness is Jesus hanging on the cross, beaten and bloodied. That is holiness. And that isn't my opinion, my friends. That's what Jesus is saying in this gospel. He's making it clear to us what holiness is. And before we dive a little deeper, let's look at the similarities of holiness and inspiration. What inspired you more if you saw the movie Rocky with Sylvester Stallone? Him standing on the street corner, bouncing his rubber ball, hanging out? Or him after in the ring, beaten, bloodied, facing Apollo Creed and reaching down deep for all he had? I think you know the answer. You're inspired more by the latter. And we should be more inspired by those pictures of holiness that show the struggles of life, because that's exactly what Jesus is asking us to look at. And that truly is holiness. Like everything else, a picture is painted in society that maybe not depicts exactly what the Gospels told us 2,000 years ago and Jesus' incredible words. And now we are to take this lesson, if you will, that he is giving us this day and every day, and put it into practice. And I always say try. Try to look at your life and the struggles that you are enduring as holiness. Appreciate yourself for doing the best you can with them, and also recognizing that others are dealing in the same way. And what appears to be holiness is holiness when we see struggle, when we see fighting real hard amongst the adversity. That's holiness. That brings us closer to Jesus. That brings us closer to one another. And ultimately, as we accept, we struggle, and we continue to fight on, it really gives us the long-lasting peace in our minds, in our hearts, and in our souls. Well, my friends, that's my message for you on this Friday. As always, I hope it was helpful. You could take it into your day. If it was helpful for you, I'd ask you to share it on your page for others to maybe benefit as well. I always welcome and appreciate your comments and your thoughts, and I always appreciate you coming here to listen with me and to share with me. I wish you all a wonderful Friday, and I look forward to seeing you back here on Sunday with another scripture reflection. Until then, take good care.